Hey, good people, how you doing? David Taub here, co-creator of NextLevelGuitar.com. And today I have a really cool acoustic blues lesson for you where we're going to learn some blues rhythms, and I'm also going to show you how you can add some cool licks into the rhythm and play both together like I was doing in the intro. And I'll show you some scales and some cool notes to add and some fun licks that you can try. And I think you'll find it pretty cool, hopefully inspiring for you to create some acoustic blues magic. Before I get started, I also wanted to tell you we're going to give away some of our latest DVD products. I just came out with a new Acoustic Blues 6 DVD set that's totally killer, where you can learn all kinds of cool acoustic blues guitar devices and acoustic blues rhythms and leads and alternate tunings, acoustic slide. I mean, it is just packed. You can learn in the styles of some of the greatest acoustic blues guitarists of all times. It's a great set, 6 DVDs, and we're going to give some away today. And I also want to tell you about a promo that we're having. For a very limited time, our friend Marty Swartz also has some acoustic blues DVDs, and we're going to allow you to get both sets at one killer price, like over half off. So it's a great deal. So both together, if you want to learn more about that, just click on the link below in the text box. We like giving stuff away here at Next Level Guitar, just a little way that we like to say thank you for all your support over the years. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give away 3 sets, both sets, 3 packages where you get both the Next Level Guitar and the Guitar Jams Acoustic Blues package. All you have to do is this: just put a comment in the YouTube comment boxes below. Let's just say, how about this? Let's see what everyone likes. Why don't you write what's your favorite acoustic guitar, brand and model, or just the brand, whatever. Just a quick comment. Let us know what your favorite acoustic is. Write that down below, and I'll wait a week and a day. So we'll say next Tuesday, what I'll do is I'll randomly choose 3 winners, just by numbers, just picking random numbers, match them up to whoever signs up below. We'll send you the whole package, all the DVDs, both sets for free. Pick 3 winners. Let's get on with the lesson, right? All right, what I'm doing is let's play a little acoustic blues in the key of E. We're going to do 1, 4, 5, and the chords are going to be an E7, an A7, and also we're going to use a B7. All right, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some cool devices that you can try and to really spice them up. So the first chord, the E7, if you just play an E major chord, right? And if you take off your 3rd finger and you have that open D string, that's an E7 chord. You're adding that D, that open D string, which gives you that flat 7. In the key of E, I'll give you that dominant 7th chord, because you have the major 3rd in there too. So you have an E7. Now, another way you could play that E7 is go back to the E major and add your pinky on the D note, right there on that 3rd fret of the B string. And a lot of guys and gals play an E7 like that. Another way of playing it. A little different timbre, right? You hear both of them. One, you hear the open D. The other one, you hear the D up here. And then yet a 3rd way to do it is go back to the E major chord, take off the 3rd finger, E7, and now just add the D. So you're not using your 3rd finger at all. You're going to add the D on that 3rd fret of the B string. And that's another way of playing it. And in fact, we're going to combine both of those. And that's what I was doing in the intro. I was doing, for the rhythm, something like this. Right? So you see what I'm doing is I'm playing this E7 voicing. And then I'm adding the D, the high D up top. So I get 2 E7 timbres. And you can hear the difference. You hear that one? And then this one. And then I throw it into rhythm. Watch the pinky, no pinky, pinky. And then what I'm doing is I'm adding this rhythmic chucking. So I'm doing a down, up, chuck. The palm of the hand comes down on the strings at the same time. That's the sound you want. At the same time you're strumming them. Right? Just try to get that first. Then add the pinky on the B string, 3rd fret. And then I'm throwing a lick in there. I'll show you that in a minute, but let's go on to the other chords. The A7 chord. Okay, there's a couple different ways you can play that. Here's one voicing. Another voicing is some people like to just bar at the 2nd fret and then add their 3rd finger to that G note at the high E string on the 3rd fret. Then you're adding that G to that A chord, or that, again, a flat 7 in the key of A, the G note. And what that's doing is giving you a 7 chord. These 7 chords are very bluesy sounding, very twangy sounding. That's why you see them so much in blues music, right? But I like this one for this instance because I like having that open G string. And I add it up top too. Same strum pattern, down, up, chuck. So I do a down, up, chuck, down, chuck. That's the pattern. I'm doing pretty much all the chords. What I'm doing here, this is a cool device, is see, I'm getting that cool little bend in. I'm holding the A7 chord down, but then with my 3rd finger I'm adding the G on the high E string, but I'm just giving it a little push up. Give it that little quarter half step bend. Right? And that's a cool little thing to just add a little something, a little spice. Right? And I'll show you that lick too. And then the last chord is I do this little walk up, very common in blues, to the B7 chord, the 5 chord. And that's just open A string, 1st fret A string, 2nd fret A string. And then I finger the voice, the B7 chord. And then just a little something I think that sounds kind of cool is I just move that whole chord up a half step. Again, just trying to add a little embellishment, kind of, so we're not playing the same things all the time, same worn out kind of roads that have been played for so long. I'm trying to give you some inspiration to kind of make different combinations of all these and what sounds best to your ears. So you got that walk up, then go right into the chord. And again, I'm doing the chucking. So you see what we're doing here, we're adding a lot of different elements. We're adding these devices on the 7th chords, different voicings of 7th chords for different timbres. We're adding the rhythmic chucking. We're going to add leads in too, right? So you get this. Then you got to get back to that A7 chord, and then back to the E7. And you could just use that if you just want to play with chords and just spin that around in a 12 bar. But what we're going to do is we're going to add in some licks using the blues scale. And I used one lick as kind of like a standard lick I was going to every time. Right? So first let me show you the scale that I'm building these licks from. Right? And I'm using the E minor pentatonic blues scale, or blues scale in this open position down here in the key of E. And that looks like this. Right? So there's a lot of open strings, which is great on the acoustic. You want those jangly open strings ringing. Right? And you notice those blues notes are B flat, right? You got one there and one there. And that makes for some great adding of color. So let's get to the licks now that we've learned the scale. And what I'm doing is I'm inserting the first one as a repeating lick that you hear throughout, kind of playing off of the melody. And so I'm playing that E7 chord with the chucking, adding that high D note with the pinky. So that's your basic rhythm, but now I'll insert the lick. I'm sliding, I'm playing this double stop, very common in the blues, sliding up to it, 4th fret with my 2nd finger on the B note, 4th fret on the G string, 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then just go a half step down and slide into it. Then I slide back with that 2nd finger, into the scale, pull off to the open G. And then I do a hammer on from that open D string to the 2nd fret of the D string. So you get this, right? And there's a million different combinations you could do. There I added the blue note. So it's all within the framework of this blues scale, right? But you could just try the basic one at first. Right, you end on that E. So when I go to the 4 chord, I go to that A7. And again, same chucking rhythm. Then I add my 3rd finger on the high G note, 3rd fret of the high E string. Bend it, leaving the 2nd finger down because I want to end on a D note and also get the C sharp in there because that's in that A7 chord. That's a real important note. That's a good lick right there. Just something like that with doing that with your 3rd finger, doing the bend, and then you're pulling off 3rd fret to open, high E string, and then pull off 3rd fret to 2nd fret because the 2nd finger stays down on the B string. Do that bend, really a lot of character in that bend, right? So if I play the lick off the A7, right? I'm kind of bending it, letting it down, bending it up again, and then going to that B string. So you can fool around with licks off of that device. And the great thing is if you hold that chord, you can let the other notes ring and it mixes in and it sounds really nice. Now we have our E7 rhythm. We have the nice little lick that we keep going to. And then we have the A7 chord and the device and the lick we're going there. And then you go back to the E7. Then we got to go to the B7, to the 5 chord, and then do that walk up with the chucking. And I do that little slide even, half step. Then you're back to the 4 chord, the A7, to the device, and then to the E7. And then you could do the big ending. There's all kinds of licks you can do with that scale. It's pretty endless, but let me show you a couple of cool licks that you could do for that ending. One of them I was playing off of this blue note. So I'm going just down the scale, 2nd fret D string, open D string, 2nd fret A string, open A string, 1st fret A string, and there's that blue note. And then 3rd fret, low E string, open. And then I was just doing this little, that little cool little hammer and pull lick where I'm doing open A, 1st fret with a pull off on the A, and then 3rd fret, low E. Get that going really quick. And then open low E, then go to that E note, 2nd fret on the D string. You can even do a little trill there. Hit the high E and open B together. You even do like a slide to that double stop, but this time open high E and be kind of arpeggiated. Slide back to that 2nd fret. Then do an open string lick with the blue note. 2nd fret on the D string, open D, and then this time I did like a little off the blue note, open A, 1st fret A, 2nd fret A, back to the 1st fret with a slide, and then pull it off open. Or you can do the whole thing, one pick, 3rd fret, then open E, 3rd fret low E string. These are all cool licks. Another cool lick off the blue note, like you could do the slide. You could also do a open string A, 1st, 2nd, and then pull off to the 1st and pull open. Right? Same kind of thing. Down on the G string off that blue note. That's kind of a cool thing there. What I did there was I added a note outside the blues scale, I added that major third, which, since we're in the key of E, would be that G sharp note. And that's a cool note because you're kind of inferring more of a major tonality, which works obviously over the seventh chords, because you could play the minor pentatonic or you could play the major pentatonic over that. Right? And that, you know, seventh chord's right in there. So a lot of those. So I'll throw that in there a lot, like I was hammering off of it. Just a continuous hammer and pull off of that first fret on the G string. Experiment with that scale and coming up with, you know, all different combinations of those notes. I just gave you a few just to start you off, and insert them into your rhythms using those devices, and you'll find out it's endless what you can do. And it's a cool way to spice things up if you're just sitting on your porch playing. It's a great way where you could play both the rhythm and the licks together. Remember, we have that special sale going on, a special promotion for a limited time where you can get both the Next Level Guitar and the Guitar Jams Acoustic Blues DVD sets for more than half off. Click on that. I'll put a link in the YouTube text box. Click on it, check it out. And also, I'm giving away 3 of those total sets, all those Acoustic Blues DVDs for free. 3 sets I'll draw a week and a day, next Tuesday from today. So be sure and put a comment in the YouTube comments area below. I'm David Taub, co-creator of nextlevelguitar.com. Thanks so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to share some fun, some knowledge, some musical magic. Keep putting those guitars in your hands every day. Remember, your playing is an evolution. Stay positive and keep on rocking. We'll see you soon.